G'day, SPARTANWILLY here, and welcome back to our Aston Martin Motorsport Manager F1 2021 Manager Mod save. Alright, on to Interlagos. A very dominant performance last time out in Mexico. It was a bit of a snooze fest, a bit of rain was in there though, but obviously the rapid tailwear carries over to this race weekend as well at Interlagos because it is the same track, different layout. Um, yeah, so basically we're going to go ahead with these 10 days. I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We built the new gearbox at the end of the last episode, and we'll work on improving the reliability of the brakes that we also finished building last episode. That being said, if you're enjoying the series, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, and yeah, I'll see you in 10 days. Alright, time for Interlagos with rain leaking into practice as well. I know it was practice, leaking into qualifying, which I mean, interesting enough. Martini. Now, it's actually been quite a busy couple weeks between races. We had a weird sort of request from George Russell. He basically wanted Andrew Green gone. So I went, if you don't know who he is, he was our chief designer who makes the parts, which I wasn't really happy with some of the stuff he was bringing to the table anyway with the components. So we signed Adrian Newey instead, and he was a free agent. We signed him, kicked out Andrew Green, and George Russell was happy with that. He's also 5-star. Andrew Graham's only 4.5. So I mean, it's a little thing, but yeah, why not? There's also a vote for the two dry weather tire compound. So I think it was just going to be like either medium or soft or super soft and soft. I was against this because I like having three tires to choose from because I don't use the mediums, and whenever they use the mediums, they're really slow. So I actually used three of the available 9 votes I had, and it actually went. It was a 6-6 draw, and it went over to the FIA president to vote, and he rejected it. So we got away with one there. But good to finally get some votes because there was something I actually cared about in the vote. So yeah, that is something a bit different. And actually, this tyre wear is very low, but we know these tracks are very heavy on tyres. We saw it last time out, clear as day. So yeah, also I forgot to work on the brakes. It was just a hectic couple weeks, so they're only at 58%. So I've taken them off the car and put back on the old brakes. We're working the performance on the front wings. I just sort of forgot about it. That's on me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead do practice Q1, Q2. I'll see you for Q3. All right, on to Q3 now, and the weather has been quite an obstacle for some teams. Mercedes, that's right, both Mercedes are out. We lost to McLaren and Williams, I believe that is, in Q3. Is in Q3. So absolutely wild scenes here. I love a bit of rain in qualifying, especially in Q2, because that is where all the action takes place. There was actually a really little window for us to do it, but I timed it perfectly. And we're on the soft tyres, but I think if there's rain tomorrow, it won't matter, obviously. Actually, I don't think it will matter anyway because there's rain in Q2 and some drivers might have set the fastest times on the intermediates. But we're going to send our boys out as we hit the next column, and we should be able to get those 2 runs in quite comfortably here for sure. So we'll send them out now on the slicks, and then we'll do another run on the soft tires. So look, we don't look as fast this weekend as we did last weekend. Actually, Leclerc split our boys in Q1, but Q2 is hard to really judge, and Leclerc does set the fastest lap, so we'll see how we go. All right, now it's a fair way back, but it was on the inters, obviously, so we can't read into that one too much. We'll give it a little while here. We'll send them out about 2:15 in 2 minutes. So now we'll send out. Oh, we'll send out Russell first. Give Russell a go, and then we'll send out Norris on the soft tyre. So it's going to be interesting to see the pace difference between the two tyres. There's a bit more track grip now as well, which will play a part. Leclerc goes purple, but Russell steals it off him. And Leclerc would pit pole momentarily. Russell will take it back, but Norris will not get on the front row. So yeah, it looks like Ferrari actually have a bit of pace this weekend. Schumacher's not far off. I mean, he's a second off, but that's not too bad considering last weekend. Ricciardo's not too far off either. So good to see a bit of a closer grid. As I see the Mercedes and Carlos Sainz, they'll be shattered with that result. But no Mercedes for us this weekend to worry about. But on to the race. Race day here at Interlagos. Hopefully we have a good race. I think we will now that Leclerc split us on the front row. Well, he's taken a spot on the front row. And yeah, tyre selection has unfortunately been unlocked and there's no rain. So, I mean, do we join the boys on Super Softs? I don't think we do. Just to make it interesting. Oh, you know what? Let's do it. Who cares? Let's join the boys on Super Softs. By the boys, I mean the other drivers around us and see what happens. So I hope attack overtake. I never start on Super Softs, but just to make today a bit more interesting, Let's do it. I think we can still pull it back with strategy and car performance, even if it goes terribly wrong, but I don't see how it can. That being said, Ricciardo gets a much better start than everyone, gets blocked off by Leclerc. Lando Norris dropping down. Looks like Leclerc is going to get Russell, but no. Good fight back there from Russell. And Ricciardo, oh my days, Ricciardo's got pace. He just keeps slingshotting. Alexander Albon's up here in the AlphaTauri. We got a Williams up here of Aitken who's doing bits. Russell and our boys have dropped right back. They're not used to this super soft tire compound. They're like, what is this tire, Spartan? What are we doing on it? I mean, they would be from qualifying, but that's hot laps, I suppose. Bit of work and practice as well, so they should know the tire. Oh, and our boys getting very close to touching there. And look who's out in front, Ricciardo. This game looks so good. Of course, this is with the enhanced mod, enhanced camera mod. So if you're new to the series, all the mods I use are in the description below if you want to check them out. And I also have a video which I put up in the top right, a couple minutes into each video, on how to install the F1 2021 Manager mod. Bit of a plug there, but you know, if you don't know, you don't know. So I thought I'd let you know. So we're about 40 seconds off the pace here, which is something a little bit different for sure. Usually we're like smashing it, but we do have quite a bit of ERS charge building up, so I'm just taking it easy. We're not used to this tyre, so Hamilton's actually on the soft tyre, which is interesting. And he did start outside the top 10. So it's interesting to see that the soft tyre is still pretty quick when we're on the super soft. So, you know, the soft tyre does have a lot to do with our pace some weekends as well. 47 laps, it's going to be a 2-stop today for sure. Maybe 1 stop if we win on the softs, but that's not guaranteed either, to be honest, because this track is so aggressive on the old tyre wear. Try and keep in that sweet spot where we've depleted the ERS now, running in 3rd and 5th. So a bit of a recovery to happen if we're going to win this race, that's for sure. Now Russell can probably wrap up the Drivers' Championship today, but I haven't looked at that before the race, as we overtake Schumacher by the looks of it. And we're running in 2nd and 3rd now. We're going to pit our tyres, pit our boys on another set of tyres. I didn't change the pit crew or something there because that doesn't look too good. We're actually going to go in at the same time as Ricciardo. So see if we can jump him in the pits. We're going to tell him to attack. Chuck on another pair of softs. It'll be interesting to see what tyre Ricciardo goes on. It's good to finally be in another tyre battle. So we're going to follow on board Russell here. See how we go with Ricciardo. Into the pits we go. Alright, lad. Come on, pit crew. No mistake, no mistake. Hopefully a mistake from Red Bull. And we come out in front of Ricciardo. Beautiful work. And, oh my days. There was almost an accident there, but we're into the lead of this Grand Prix with a pit lane overtake. Lovely to see. That was actually sick. I really rate that. Oh, actually, we're not in the lead. Leclerc comes out in front with the undercut. But we're going to try and push him racing here on pit exit. After he almost killed us by zooming past. And yeah, look, I don't know what's going on here. Come on, Russell, get him. Good bit of racing there from the lads, though. Ricciardo's not far behind either. Norris is a fair way off this little battle. So, shut the door on us there, Leclerc. Leclerc is a bit of a lunatic in this game. He has his moments in real life as well, but we're going to zoom ahead a little bit. We're fighting with Leclerc again, but we just keep racing us, sort of. George Russell's being made to look like a bit of a mug here. A big mug here. And George Russell has crashed out. He was fighting Leclerc too hard. He's like, what's this fighting stuff? I don't know what this is. And that has opened up the Drivers' Championship here massively. So poor race for us, really. Down in 5th and a DNF. Again, Interlagos and Mexico City, where we struggled in Season 1. We did try something different today, but this track's cursed. Yeah, no words for that one, Russell. That was quite unusual. But pushed too hard by Leclerc. Forgot how to fight, battle drivers. And Norris, we could have our first no podium race since, I think, Azerbaijan at this rate. Obviously, the Mercedes have to pit, but we also have to pit to get to the end of this race. So, yeah, who knows what will happen. I mean, there's a change of scenery, but I wouldn't say it's better at the moment. But we did get a bit of fighting earlier on, so we can't take that for granted. And if Russell didn't crash, he would have kept fighting with Leclerc. But we're actually going up to the back of Ricciardo here. But we're looking after the tyres a little bit, so we won't look to push him too much. Actually, we have to really start looking after tyres. If we want to get this 3rd stint comfortably, because we've only been on these tyres for 13 laps and they're at 60%, which is shocking. So look, if we can look after our tyres, I think we can jump everyone. We're doing one less pit stop. But we'll soon see. We still got quite a bit of fuel to work with. We're only 4 seconds off the pace of Leclerc. Norris could be in for a big, big race here in the Drivers' Championship. Oh, look at that. The gap's way too big, actually, as we climb up into second. On track, actually, so I missed that one. My bad. But we're 3 seconds off Leclerc. He's got the real pace. That is the real pace today. And it's so fast, in fact, that it sent Russell flying off the track into the wall. I didn't really see where he crashed out because 1 minute on this 4 times speed he's on the track. Next minute he's crashed out, apparently, it says at the bottom. And next second he's in the garage. So sort of missed that as Charles comes into the pits and he's on another set of softs. But I feel like it's too early. So I think we can definitely count on Charles Leclerc having another pit stop in this race. And Ricciardo maybe can make it to the end of this race, but we'll soon see. Hamilton's definitely going to stop again, so is Verstappen. As Callum Ilott crashes out. A safety car would go down pretty nicely right about now. I mean, sort of, not really. We get a free pit stop, but I would also lose our gap, so it'd really not mean much. But we're going to pit our boy there, Lando Norris, with 30 laps to go. Will we make it last to the end? I'm honestly not sure. We'll soon see, won't we? But all to play for. Oh my days. How did we not oversurge the battery there? And we were coming up behind, so we're going to have to really look after these tyres because we want to go to the end and overtake them while they're in the pits. But yeah, so we also had a fuel, which is a shame. This is why I check before I pit them that we're far enough away from the pit lane to use all our ARS because I don't know how to oversurge then. I thought we were way too close. But that being said, we're going to look after these tyres and hopefully get to the end on this tyre set so we can take the win under strategy. I'll bring you back when Leclerc's pitting. If he does pit, he should pit. Alright, Charles Leclerc is officially coming into the pit stop with 15% tyre. We're 3 seconds behind him, so we're going to try and go to the end. Hopefully he catches up to Ricciardo, but he won't because Ricciardo's probably going to come into the pits and lose a bit of... I hope he caught up to Ricciardo and lose a bit of time, but yeah, I think Ricciardo's going to come into the pits. I honestly think our tyres make it to the end quite comfortably, actually, now that I say that. With 8 laps to go, we are at 50%. So that's being said, Leclerc just did go purple, so he might staunch the fastest lap off us. He has got it at the moment, so I don't know where this pace from Ferrari's come from, but fair play to him. Good to see. Good to see a bit of a contest here, but also fantastic to see Norris come out on top in a race where it didn't look like he was going to be able to capitalise on Russell crashing out. But I still don't think it has that much of an implication on the Drivers' Championship. With 4 laps to go, we're still going to hear the British anthem at the end of this race. That being said, Leclerc's cut the gap down by 3 seconds, but I don't think he'll do it in time. And we will coast home after a difficult race for us, really. But it's good to have a difficult race and still come home in P1, that is for sure. As we round the last corner on the final lap, Max Verstappen runs out of fuel, but Lando Norris wins his 3rd race in 4 races. With 3 races to go in the season, he's winning, picking up quite the few amount of wins there. As Charles actually ended up finishing just under 17 seconds behind Norris, so he must have lost a lot of time. Maybe he ran out of fuel as well. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a different podium today. Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton, Ricciardo. No, hang on, that's 4. Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton. I was looking at the gap between Ricciardo and Hamilton, that's why I said Ricciardo. But that is the race. So, look at that tyre management as well. They just started to go off the cliff, which is good. Real shame about Russell. I don't know what was going on there. But just didn't like racing, so just felt like putting the wall. He would have easily won this race. If we went it with Norris from 5th place, imagine what Russell could have done from 2nd place. But oh well, the strategy was there today. Good to finally have to use our brain a little bit. I mean, usually we can afford to make massive pit stop errors and have to pit Norris another time and still win the race, but I'll get a 1-2 even. This drive again, yeah, so fastest lap did go to Leclerc as Hamilton's still injured. I keep forgetting to check that injury. But there it is, me and Norris, no Russell on the podium today, so just me and Norris having a party. Charles is happy to be up there, he hasn't been up there much this season. That's why I'm a bit surprised where the Ferrari got his pace from, but it was obviously legal because they still kept their podium, so scrutineering they passed. And yeah, that is Interlagos. Interview with Channel 4. So, simple question, Norris is better because Russell crashed out, so watch me jinx him here. Has Norris crashed out this season? No, he hasn't. Russell's done it twice. But he accepts blame for the crash, which is good. We can't put too much. He is allowed to make mistakes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only going to hurt him. We've already won the constructors. He could have wrapped it up with a win there, I think. But that crash out has actually given Norris a slight slim chance. With 3 races to go, he can technically still win. If he wins 2 races and Russell crashes out of 2 races, then Norris wins. So look, Russell crashes out in the next race. It makes the last 2 very interesting for sure. And in the series, we've obviously had a history of sequential crash outs. So I think we had Vettel at the start, which is like 5 in a row, or like 6 out of the 7 races at the start of the season. So it's not impossible, so it could make things a little bit more tasty. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's race. I really did. It was good to fight with, have a few battles there, mostly at the start of the race. Most of the second half of the race is more about strategy, but that's Formula One. So yeah, if you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like to the video. It helps the video out a lot, and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Of course, we're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. It'd mean the world to me if we could do that goal. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.